So you're thinking of moving to Scottsdale, Arizona? Well, in this video, we'll take you all through the town of Scottsdale and kind of give you an idea what it's like to live and play here. And then a little later on, we'll go through and take a look at 3 separate neighborhoods, each of which in a different price point, give you an idea of what those markets have for you and see which one fits into your budget. So that's kind of what we're going to do. And well, what's it going to do? When's it going to happen? It's going to happen right now. If this is your first time to my channel, make sure you click the like and subscribe button so that, as well as the notification button, so you get all the updates when it comes to Scottsdale, Arizona, because we do updates all the time. I will say my name is Mark Phillips, and on behalf of everyone at the Curtis Johnson team at eXp Realty, I can tell you that we get phone calls each and every day from people just like you, all looking for information about the city of Scottsdale, what it's like to live here, what the cost of living is, things like that. So we're more than happy to answer any of those questions. In fact, whether you're coming here in 9 days or 90 days or 9 months, people call and give us or ask for, they basically send us texts, emails, phone calls, all asking for that information. So we're more than happy to help you. In fact, our contact information you'll find in the description below. And I tell you, well, let's get right to it. As I mentioned, we are in the city of Scottsdale. Now, one thing about Scottsdale is it's kind of, well, there's two parts to it, really. There's the city of Scottsdale, and then there's what everybody calls North Scottsdale. Right now, we're in the Old Town part of Scottsdale, and I tell you, I've lived in the Phoenix area for 40 years, so I mean, I've watched it grow up. I watched a lot of changes happen, but I can tell you that Scottsdale has always been kind of the ritzy part of town. I mean, people, that's where a lot of people go to play. A lot of them come to work, but it's always been kind of the upscale part of town. Here in the downtown of the Old Town area, there's it's a little bit more suburban, I'll say. As we go forward up into North Scottsdale, in fact, we'll take a look at the different price points as I mentioned. But one thing about Scottsdale is the difference between regular Scottsdale and North Scottsdale. There are basically, we look at price points anywhere from $300,000 on upwards to $1 million in this video. As you get up into North Scottsdale, that's where the big money comes in, and we'll take a look at videos in another time where you'll show homes that are $1 million all the way up to the most expensive property in Scottsdale right now is at $55 million. So there's a lot of different things going on. So one thing to keep in mind with Scottsdale, it's a great location. It's about 20 minutes or so out of the town, the city of Phoenix, about 25 minutes away from the airport. So it's reasonably well located. But what's there about Scottsdale that you really enjoy doing? Well, there's all kinds of things that Scottsdale offers. First and foremost, everything is outside. There's a lot of bars and restaurants here in the Old Town area that I'll show you. And as you kind of see as we go through this, the Old Town is kind of where everybody goes to stay and play. So when they come down, this is where they'll come usually. And the age groups down here ranges anywhere between, let's say, 21 to, I don't know, 65 or so. So it's a pretty good mix. A lot of different places, a lot of different things to do. So other things that you want to think about. Everything in Scottsdale is it's outside, as I mentioned, with the bars, restaurants. But what else? Well, if you like to golf, this is the place for you. The town boasts, wow, well over 200 golf courses all over the place with greens fees, you name it. So there's all kinds of different ways to play golf in this town. In fact, the first part of the year, one thing that's a really popular thing with a lot of the locals and tourists alike are going through and going to the Phoenix Open. Well, I guess it's called the Waste Management Open now, but I was called the Phoenix Open, kind of old school. But yeah, that happens, and it's very popular. Even if you don't golf, everybody goes to watch and see and be seen, so it's a fun place. Right around that same time, there's also a car show. It's called Barrett Jackson. Now, Barrett Jackson is a very popular car show. In fact, one of the things that surprises people about Barrett Jackson is you can go there. Most people go just to look at the cars because there's really cool cars. Some of them are really, really, really expensive. But other cars, and this is what surprised me a few years ago because I go just about every year, comes down to, in Barrett Jackson, there are cars that are, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000. So they're reasonably priced, even though it's a, deluxe car show. So there's all kinds of stuff to do that way. What else is left to do in Scottsdale? Well, one of the things that I love to do, again, being outside, a very fun thing, is to go boating. One thing you'll find that Bartlett Lake, while it's not technically in the city of Scottsdale, it's about 20 to 30 minutes northeast, and it's a beautiful lake. I mean, I have my boats, I would go out there on a regular basis and enjoy the lake. So there's always plenty of water in the lake, and So it's a lot of fun. So those are all the kinds of things that we can see and do in Scottsdale. There's plenty more in other videos that we'll see. But let's take a look at some of the neighborhoods, shall we? So here we are in the first one of our neighborhoods. This is going to be in the $300,000 to $600,000 range here in Scottsdale. I will say that Scottsdale, as I mentioned, it's kind of a more prestigious part of the Phoenix metropolitan area, and with that in mind, you're going to find more expensive homes typically. It's not to say that you can't find a nice home, because you certainly can. It's just going to be a matter of here in Scottsdale, some of the homes, it's just a matter of looking for them and finding the right one for you. I will say that your choices are going to be condos, townhomes, patio homes, and in some cases single-family residence. So it just depends on your taste and things like that. In fact, if we take a look at the home just over my shoulder over here, this one is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, and it is about just shy of 2,500 square feet, on the market for $547,500. So it's kind of typical for this area. This particular neighborhood is very nice. As you can see, it's nice and quiet. One of the neat things about this particular neighborhood, as I'll spin around quickly here, you see behind me, is basically it's a gated community. So that means it's going to be extra quiet inside of here. Not all Scottsdale communities are gated, but some are, and even in the lower price points, so that's a good thing. So Scottsdale real estate, Scottsdale address has always been kind of a prestigious thing in the metropolitan area, so that's something to be looking for. If you're looking for a Scottsdale address, you can find it in the $300,000 to $600,000 range. All right, tell you what, let's take a look at the next one, which will be the $750,000 on upwards to $1 million. So we'll take a look at that in just a moment. Okay, so here we are in the second neighborhood, and basically as we move further north, you'll see a difference again between, there's like 3 different Scottsdales. There's South Scottsdale, Scottsdale, and North Scottsdale. We're kind of in the middle. I'll say we're moving towards the north. This neighborhood is going to be in the $600,000 to $800,000 range. In fact, the home that you see right behind me here, this one is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. It's about 1,500 square feet, and it's going on the market for $649,500. So that puts it at about $433 a foot, give or take. So you can see the price point going up as you move further north in the neighborhoods. But there are a lot of nicer homes here. Again, a nice quiet neighborhood. Scottsdale typically is, at least as you progress further north, it becomes a little bit more quiet, a little more upscale, with the price points obviously following that same trend. So there's a lot of really nice homes as you kind of look around the neighborhood behind me here. You know, a lot of them 2-story homes, some of them single level. One of the neat things about it, though, if you look off in the distance, you get the mountain range up there. So that's the, I believe it's the Bradshaw Mountains. So it's a very nice view. And again, this is typical for an upscale Scottsdale neighborhood, I would say, in this price range. So this again is the $600,000 to $800,000 range. We're going to go to the next one, which is a little bit higher, so it'll be $800,000 up to $1 million. And so we'll take a look at those in just a minute. All right, so here we are in the third and final neighborhood of our little tour here in Scottsdale, Arizona. This neighborhood is running anywhere between $800,000 and $1 million. It's a little bit to the northwest of where we were just at in the lower price point. Here you're going to find homes that are, again, it's just a matter of where you are in Scottsdale, certainly. And as you've seen, the prices go up as you head north, and that's certainly the case here. I'd say we're in kind of the mid-range as far as Scottsdale goes. In general speaking, from South Scottsdale is where the lower priced homes are, and North Scottsdale is where the real expensive homes are. Like I said, this one, in fact the one behind me right here, this one is on the market for $969,000. It is a 4-bedroom, 3-bath, about 2,200 square feet. So that puts it at about $451 per square foot. But it is a nice home, and again, it's a nice quiet neighborhood, just like the others have seen. So all kinds of very nice things in this neighborhood to see. Real nice and quiet, and that's something that I tend to like. I think a lot of people do. If they want to make noise, that's great, but they don't want their neighbors to, so that's kind of how things go. But this is a nice neighborhood. I would certainly recommend if you're making a move to Scottsdale. Again, this is Mark Phillips with the Curtis Johnson Real Estate Team. If there's everything we can do for you, by all means, get with us. Either send us an email, give us a phone call, or send us a text message. Whatever your fancy, we'll happy to help you. We happily help everybody that comes to us, and we're doing great business here in town because we are one of the top teams in the country. So wish you a very happy day. we'll talk to you on the next one.